Yo, yo, yo. Real TBT Kenya here, my friends. Wow. I'm not even sure whether this is gonna work. I know time is gone, so much gone. But then I decided to do a live stream, a TBT live stream, because we are just a few hours to Thursday. And as you all know, Thursdays are for TBT. Yeah, so that was typically the purpose of this live stream that I'm doing here today. I don't know how it goes. Let us see. Well, just hope the network is okay because normally, I don't know. We have very poor reception here in this place. I don't know if it's because of the rains or what. Not even sure. Yeah, but anyway, it is what it is. We have to try. We have to keep on trying until we get it right. Yeah. So the purpose of this live stream was to, talk, have a chat, a little bit of a chat about wrestling. That was one of the major entertainments back in the days, and our childhood days. So I don't know whether you had an opportunity to watch wrestling at any point in your life, because personally I did, and it was very fun and enjoyable. I'm not even sure. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know if this backfires. Oh my god, I'll have to do it tomorrow on Thursday. Yeah, but typically, I just wanted to, talk about, wrestling, WWE wrestling. Yeah, so thank you. I think I saw some people there. I don't know, my screen is a bit tiny, so I'm not even sure whether I can see if there's anyone around. Yeah, but thank you so much for stopping by. It's around 9:20 p.m. here in Kenya. Yeah, and I just decided to do this live stream and talk a little bit, you know, about wrestling. Yeah. Oh, there's someone here. Thank you so much for coming, Abe. Hey man, thank you, Abe, for coming. I'm fine. You can, give this live stream a like, and probably you can tell us where you were watching us from. Personally, I'm from Kenya. This is Kenya. This is Kenya, my friend. And we're just chilling here, talking WWE wrestling. I don't know whether in your place, did you have an opportunity to watch wrestling at any point? Because here in Kenya, it was a huge, big thing, big entertainment, and majority of us used to enjoy back in the days. That's what I wanted to talk about, to address in this live stream. So I don't know if it's a good topic. That's why I made it clear on the title and on the thumbnail as well, so that people can know what I'm talking about. And maybe if it's a topic, maybe you know, um, they're not enjoying watching. Then they can. I don't know why it keeps going off. My screen keeps going off. I'm not sure if it's could be the issue. I'm not sure if it's. I put some screen timeout. I don't know. Let me look at the settings. Thank you, thank you. If you come in, you can just say hi in the chat there, and then you can give the live stream a like. I'm trying to fix some things here. Let me tell you, this shows you how old I am, man. My tech skills are so poor. Yeah. Because I'm wondering, I don't know. I have to keep on tapping the screen because if I leave the screen, then it goes off. Mm. But anyways, let us just flow with it. Yeah, so back in the days, actually, wrestling, more specifically WWE, they used to have eras. The same way you can have, seasons. For example, in series and something that is prolonged on TV, they normally have seasons. So for WWE, they had a couple of seasons actually, and let me refer to something here so that I can be factual. Yeah, and I can be correct. So the first era for WWE, it was called the Golden Era. Yeah, and this was running between 1984 and 1993. I don't know how many of us were born by then. It's a long time ago, 1984, and I'm not sure whether this was still under Mr. McMahon's dad or McMahon had already taken over. I'll check. I'll check on that. Yeah. So that was the golden era. It used to run between 1984 and 1993. And then from there we had the new generation era. Now with this one, it used to run between 1993 and 1997. Yeah. So we had a new generation of wrestlers. The likes of Kane, they joined in. The likes of, I think, The Undertaker and Bret Hart, all those wrestlers, they joined in at this period. From there, we had the Attitude Era. This was running between 1997 to 2002. Now, this, at least I was watching this one, the Attitude Era. Yeah, between 97 and 202. I was a bit young, very young, was just joining, school. So at least I used I used to comprehend what is happening in the ring, even though my memory was a bit, hazy, so I could not recall all the wrestlers and all that. But we had the Attitude Era, and it was actually one of the most interesting eras at that time, because I presume they had a beef, not a beef. They were competing with another wrestling company called WCW. Then later on, it was acquired by WWE. So the Attitude Era, 97 to 202, and then we had the Ruthless Aggression Era. Let me tell you, that was my favorite actually, because at least now I was old enough and I could follow the action of whatever is happening in the ring and all that. Yeah, so in this era, we used to have the likes of Stone Cold. We had The Rock. We had Brock Lesnar. I think he joined at the same time. We had Rey Mysterio again. They were debuting at the same time, and the likes of Randy Orton. They were pretty young, a bit, young wrestlers, but at least they were doing some. Yeah, and it used to run between 2002 and 2008. Yeah, 2002, 2008, somewhere there. And actually, around this period, that's when WWE changed now to WWE, because initially they used to be called WWF, World Wrestling Federation. And then I think they had an issue because the same acronym was being used by WWF, another organization that is worldwide, I think worldwide fund or something. It has to do with the wildlife and all that. No, wildlife, something close to that. Yeah, WWF. So with that one, they had to change the acronyms to World Wrestling Entertainment. And to me, in my opinion, it sounds okay. It sounds good. So it's not a bad thing actually. The change. Yeah. So we had the ruthless aggression era, 202 to 208. Then the other one, we had PG era. Now with this era, we had it used to run between 2008 and 2014. We had the likes of John Cena. I think he was the WWE champion, and at some point Batista was the heavyweight champion. And the championships used to rotate from one wrestler to another. Of course, maybe because of injuries and all that stuff. Yeah. So, which was the other one? The rest of them actually, because I think at this point now I was transitioning out to school, to high school. So I was not watching much because most of the time I'm away from home. So we were not watching that much. Yeah, the rest of the eras because we had the reality era that used to run between 2014 and 2016. I think they had another season of Tough Enough because initially we had in 2001 when we had this haze of reality shows going on. I think WWE also they ventured into reality TV and they had a show dubbed Tough Enough, and that's why we have a guy, Mr. Maven Huffman. Eh? Yeah, he was the winner for Tough Enough, and actually he's doing well nowadays on YouTube. Yeah, but he used to be there Tough Enough 2001. Personally, I do not recall that reality TV show, but then again, after what he has been sharing on YouTube recently, I think we have learned a lot from back in the days. The other one is dubbed New Era. The New Era used to run from 2016 to I don't know up to COVID time. Then we had the season of COVID, where they were not wrestling with the real audience. So they used to have screens and people were streaming from home because of COVID. And of course, from there, I think that's when now we have the Netflix era. Now, after Triple H now took over, that's where we have the Netflix era. So, I don't know. Those are some of the eras that were there present back in the days. To me, the Attitude Era, that's when we had the feud between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And me, actually, let me, of late, it has been very cold. I'm sorry for blowing my nose in the live stream. In a very cold season right now. I'm not sure what's going on. Been having rains for the past few days. But then we are good, we are good, we are good, we are good. Really, I'm not even sure whether this thing is showing. Let me check. I'm sorry, I have to keep on checking. Uh, Let me see. It's maximized. Should I minimize them? I think this one is better. This one is better now. Yeah, so that was the thing. Um, those are the eras. WWE. So as I was saying, during the Attitude Era, towards the end of the Attitude Era, we had the feud between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, so I remember me and my brother, we both took sides. Yeah, yeah. So my brother was supporting The Rock. You know, if you smell, you go the Rock is smoking. And then for me, I was supporting Stone Cold Steve Austin. Reason being, I used to admire how Stone Cold was, working in the ring. He was all active, vibrant, and all that. The beer thing where he would smash those beers and spray all over the ring and all that. Uh, I I think I have to keep on tapping it. This continues. I just hope it to show. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. You have to get back. You have to get back in action. Get back in action. You have to get back in action. Yeah. So don't mind about this because I have to keep on tapping the screen. I'm not sure what's happening. It's going off. Maybe let me see whether there are some settings I need to adjust here. That I can carry on with the live stream. Yeah, so just bear with me, my friends, because this one is giving me headache, 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 headache. Headache because I have to keep on tapping the screen. I hope it's good now. Yeah, so I think we are back. We are back. You're back in action. You're back in action. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, we had a feud between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, so me, I was supporting Stone Cold Steve Austin because of his in-ring work. He was quite aggressive and all that. So that was me. And then again, Not that I have anything against The Rock, but I considered him to be a bit, a bit cocky, and he used to have some pride. Yeah, so that's why I was supporting Stone Cold. And then my brother was supporting The Rock. So I remember we used to argue all the time. Oh, my man is going to win, oh, my guy is going to win, and all that. Yeah, so that used to be, at least it used to make our days. Because I remember WWE Raw used to air on Tuesdays. Yeah, 8:15 p.m. on Tuesdays here in Kenya. And then for SmackDown, it used to air on Friday, 8:15 p.m. as well. And then the rerun for SmackDown used to be on Sundays at 3 p.m. Yeah, so the feud between The Rock and Stone Cold, at least, that's why I started, like following the wrestling stuff, and I was supporting Stone Cold. But also The Rock, actually, I was a fan of him because he used to be aggressive as well. The people's elbow, his moves were so nice, and he used to sell the Stone Cold Stunner in a in a very nice fashion, in a very nice manner. Yeah, so he was a very good salesman. If The Rock was to be a salesman, then the way he was selling the Stunner, I'm telling you, he can make a very good salesman. Yeah, so from there we transition now to the ruthless aggression era. That's when we had the likes of what we call it, Brock Lesnar, who was debuting at that period, and also we had others such as Rey Mysterio. Again, he was there during that era. We had the likes of who else? As I said earlier, we had the likes of Randy Orton as well. They were a bit young. They were just debuting. CM Punk as well, I heard he was debuting close to that era, during that era. But then again, I heard this from Maven happen. Yeah, I never knew CM Punk at the time. Yeah, so typically that's it. Towards the end of the Ruthless, as we enter now PG, that's when we had John Cena, I think, as the champion, the WWE champion, and then Batista as the heavyweight champion. I used to enjoy that as well because we used to have the two brands, the Raw and SmackDown. And it was nice actually. We used to enjoy it. It was good stuff, some good stuff. Yeah. So actually, for me, I would say my favorite wrestler was Stone Cold, but then he's not the only favorite wrestler because you see they used to appear and disappear in some seasons because maybe of injuries and also maybe other commitments. Maybe they are going to act because they have featured in a couple of films and Hollywood as well. Yeah, so when they are away, of course, you have to support someone else. Yeah, so Stone Cold from there, we had the likes of Rey Mysterio, my favorite, and the others such as the likes of Akina Tajiri because of their. Me, I used to like the high flyers. You see those people who are, high flyers. I used to admire them. Those guys were just perfect. The way they jump around in the ropes and over the top rope. RVD as well. He was a favorite. Who else? Shelton Benjamin again. He was a high flyer, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so that's it for the favorite list. As for my worst superstar, and by worst, I don't have anything against them at a personal level. Just as a performer, in-ring performer, that's why I rate them as the worst. My worst was my worst wrestler was Rikishi. And you know why? Because that thing used to push someone towards the corner on the turnbuckle, and then he goes and does like this with his behind. Oh my goodness! It used to give me trauma. Cyber trauma. And I was a kid at the time, so I would imagine. What if he had, some bad meal last night? Probably some beans and all that. And then he comes and does that to you. Hey, it was traumatizing. Yeah, so as a performer, I had an issue with that, and that's why I rated him as my worst. But then as a person, Rikishi, I don't know is his real name Fatu or who? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll check. Yeah, but I heard he's a good guy actually. So he was just doing that for performance purposes, in ring performance. Yeah, so we just move with that, you know. Yep. My favorite moment for WWE was when the ring collapsed. Actually, I think it was 204, 205 there. Yeah, 2005 there, if I'm not wrong. But then I'll check. I'll counter check because I keep on forgetting. But I've done actually a reaction to shots, one of the shots where they are showing the ring collapsing. It was between a match between Brock Lesnar and the Big Show, you know, and Brock went to the Big Show went to the top rope, and then Brock approached him, and you know they took the bump, and the ring, boom, man, we have never been that excited, you know. I could not even wait to go to school and share with the other kids what we saw that weekend, because you see it used to air on Fridays and then the rerun on Sundays. So on Monday, that's when we go to school. Hey, so we used to share all those stories and all that. Oh my God, did you see the ring collapse? Oh, blah, blah, blah. It was just amazing. But then later on, I came to hear that it was just a gimmick. The ring was a gimmick so that it can collapse. So it was deliberate, actually. But then again, whether deliberate or not, that moment was fantastic, priceless. Higher. We move on. Uh, and actually, we used to have ring announcers back in the days, and I think maybe you have come across them. We used to have Tony Chimel. Maybe if I get the sound, I'll attach it here so that you can remember him. He was very, popular and common in Raw, Monday Night Raw. He used to be the ring announcer there. Tony Chimel, and then for SmackDown, we used to have Lillian Garcia. Yeah, the lady. I'll also put the sound there so that at least you can hear and you can recall. Yeah, so she was the ring announcer there. Then we had Justin Roberts, now came in later. He's actually one of my favorite ring announcers. Yeah, they used to shout the name. You know, the following contest is scheduled for 1 fall. Then there he goes and on. And actually, I've read a book. He has a book actually by the name Best Seat in the House. Yeah, he has authored a book, and I've read it actually. It's a very nice book. It gives an overview of how he was passionate, of WWE as a kid, and then he used to attend the shows and all that. From there, he used to send his auditioning tapes to WWE, requesting to join there as a ring announcer. He kept on sending, and then one time I think they gave him the job. He got the job. He got the contract, and he was the ring announcer. Actually, he became a ring announcer. He used to travel to so many places, so he has highlighted all that in the book, and the behind the scenes, what was transpiring during those trips, overseas trips, and also the local venues where they used to host the shows and all that. Yeah, so he was it's quite interesting actually to see someone passionate about the business and then joining the business, getting a chance to join the business and becoming the best of the best when it comes to ring announcing. For the other eras, I think we had a ring announcer by the name Howard Finkel. Personally, I used to watch him briefly because he was in Attitude Era and beyond there, and I was a bit young, so I never, kind of got fond of him, ring announcing. And then again, I heard he's one of the best actually to so many people, one of the legendary ring announcers. However, been in WWE, he goes by the name Howard Finkel. Later on, we have had others such as Samantha Irvin. Samantha, by the way, she has, that roaring voice. She's your winner. She used to say that. And, you can see the passion when they are doing the announcing. They used to hype, the shows and all that, the wrestlers and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's it. So, and actually, by the way, there is a Kenyan American who used to wrestle who used to be a superstar in the WWE. Actually, you know, actually, I was in school, and then one of my schoolmates said, "There's a Kenyan who is a superstar in WWE." So I was wondering, who is this one? Who could be this person? And then I would ask the guy, "Are you confusing that with Kamala? Because you used to have a wrestler called Kamala. He used to be. They used to say he's a Ugandan. The Ugandan something. What were they calling? The Ugandan something. So they used to say he's from Uganda because for African we had Kamala from Uganda, but of course maybe I don't think he's naturally from Uganda, but then they just gave him the gimmick. He was from Uganda. And then from there we had Kofi Kingston. At some point, I don't know if they said he was from Ghana, if I'm not wrong. Did we have any other wrestler with African theme? I don't think so. The ones I can recall are those two, Kamala and Kofi. But if maybe you have come across any other African wrestler themed in the WWE, maybe you can tell us. So, but for this case, for this person who was telling me that we have a Kenyan who is a wrestler in the WWE, so I had to go look and I fetched all the information I could get. I never found it. But then later on, I came to realize his name is David Otunga. Yeah, David Otunga. He used to be with the Nexus. So he used to feature in NXT. You know, NXT was kind of like a developmental thing back there in the days. That's why, you know, new wrestlers would debut there. They kind of go there, wrestle, and get experience and so on and so forth. And then now they can join now the main brands, both the Raw and SmackDown. So he used to be there at NXT, and then he joined later on Raw and SmackDown as part of the Nexus group. Yeah. So David Otunga, but he normally pronounces as Otanga. Yeah, but here in Kenya we say Otunga. Otunga, David Otunga. Yeah, we had Cardinal Otunga here in Kenya, one of the Catholic cardinals, but unfortunately he passed on. So Otunga is a very popular name here in Kenya, western side of Kenya, to be specific. Yeah, so I was so excited actually to learn that we have a Kenyan American who is a part of the WWE. Oh my goodness, that's a thing because I think WWE is global because we have wrestlers themed from all over the world. We had the Great Khali, India. When you hear Great Khali, India, Muhammad Hassan as well, Middle East, and I think Saudi Arabia there. For UK, do we have any wrestler themed for UK? I think something Bulldog. He used to be from UK. Then Ganta. Is it Ganta or Ganta? Ganta as well. I think he can be associated with Russia, Soviet, and those parts. Africa, as I said, we had two, and now you add the two. We have like three. Then South America, do we have any themed South America? From Brazil. Calito. Yeah, I think Calito was themed from Brazil, somewhere there. Mexico, of course, there are many. The Latinos, Latino heat. Yeah. The Luchado. I think they're called the Luchaderos. Luchado. The Luchado fraternity. Yeah, they're from there. Mm. Australian, do we have any themed wrestler from Australia? I'm not sure. Asia, we have a couple of them as well. For Japan, we had Akina Funaki, we had, Tajiri. Who else? For the Asian countries, majorly it's Japan and India. I've never had a Chinese themed wrestler in WWE. Maybe they are there, but not that I can recall for now. Now we move on. The next one. mm, So for the current nowadays, I don't watch WWE much because maybe I'm held up and all that. And also, It's not airing on TV frequently. Yeah, so much of the updates we normally get them on YouTube as well. We have a couple of podcasts that are running on YouTube, which are very good, by the way. In my opinion, we have learned a lot. We have learned a lot about the business, about kayfabe. Kayfabe is that character. When you lift the veil behind that character. Now you can get now the real person. That's what we call breaking kayfabe. Yeah. So, for example, the Undertaker. His real name is Mark Calloway. You see, not many people know that. Triple H. Actually, do you know the real name for Triple H? His real name. Uh, Let me give you a second to guess there. Yeah, Triple H goes by the name Paul. I think Paul Lavec. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, Paul Lavec. So getting to know the business and the real people now behind those characters has been very interesting. Of course, we have Maven Halfman, one of my favorite podcasts on YouTube. He has, taught us a lot about this business. He started a channel and then he gave us the overview how he joined. He was part of the Tough Enough reality show during 2001, and he actually was the winner. And he was given the contract. He joined between 2002 and 2005. That's when he was a wrestler there, a superstar. But then I don't recall him much. I think he was a mid carder or something. Yeah, a cruiserweight. But then again, now after now he started YouTube. It's like I've known him forever because we have learned a lot. Yeah, so Maven, and actually he did a poll the other time. He showed in one of the community posts, he showed where he's getting his viewership on his channel. And guess what? Kenya, we are part of the of it on the map. 0.2%. Yeah, so part of the 0.2%, I think I'm there. I'm there inside there with the views. He's doing a fantastic job there on the screen. Others, we have Inside the Ropes, actually, another podcast, a very nice podcast. We have had Paul Heyman there, going there and giving all those. I think he was. They are themed. There are so many episodes there where Paul Heyman is talking, and Paul Heyman and the mic. He's the guy, man. He knows how to cut the promo everywhere. When Paul gets the mic, he can cut the promo anywhere, any place. Yeah, so he has given us so much information again on the business. Like we shoot that promo, I think about CM Punk, about McMahon, the business and all that. So it's something you can check. Another podcast would be Devon Dudley as well. He was featured on Maven's channel when Maven was talking about the mass transit incident, and Maven was no, Devon was actually the one giving the information because he was uh, he was a participant when that incident happened, and he did a good job actually narrating and giving the story, and he was part of the Dudley Boys. Actually, I used to watch them. I do recall the Dudley Boys because it was him and Baba, the guy called Baba, and the other one. I don't know whether he's called Strike or something. Yeah, I think there were three, and in some instances there were four, but I do recall three. Yeah, but I never knew they were called the Dudley Boys back then. So I used to call them the military men. Yeah, because they used to wear some camouflage, shorts and some black t-shirts. Yeah, I don't want to do it because whenever you see them, there must be a table and probably a ladder. They used to do so many TLC matches. Yeah, so whenever you see the Dudley Boys, rest assured you are going to see a ladder or a table feature somewhere there, and somebody is going to get a bump to take a bump on those, gimmicks. Yeah, so here's an interesting actually podcast, and I think recently he hit 500K subscribers. So if I'm not wrong, I think so. So he's doing a pretty job. When you have a name and then you kickstart something, boom, it blows up. Also, I've been watching David Otunga. He has a channel as well. He launched a channel as well. He's giving the business perspective from the legal side. Yeah, and he's a Harvard educated lawyer actually in the history of WWE. So he's a bright guy, a very sharp and bright guy, and he's disseminating, you know, priceless information there in his channel. So you can check it out as well. The other one would be Chris Van Valet. Yeah, he has interviewed close to all wrestlers or superstars and divas that you can think of in the business. And he has done a very good job actually, interviewing all those people, and then we get to hear their stories, their background, how they joined, different, all the experiences they had in the business. It was a very fantastic thing actually to, to listen to. Yeah, so that's it. Those are the podcasts, and that's the WWE in a shell. as we as we mark this TBT, as we mark this TBT Thursday. Those are some of the things that we used to enjoy there. It was a good experience actually, and we live to recall and remember those times and cherish cherish what those moments. Yeah, because they used to be fun. Back in the day, we never used to have social media and all that. But to be precise, here in Kenya, yeah, the only form of entertainment we had is the television, and we had limited, TV stations, and our national broadcaster was the one showcasing the wrestling matches. Yeah, for both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, yeah, we had others, bring in such as the Heat. I think it used to be on Citizen TV. The Heat, like kind of the highlights of all the, unaired shows that were there happening in the week during the week. It was a pretty good program as well. Yeah, so we used to enjoy. Yes, so that was the talk, the WWE talk. Ruthless Aggression era, my favorite era. And I think we are done, for today. We have done up to 42.25 seconds, 42 minutes, so to speak. So it was a good session. Thank you so much for anyone who stopped by. Maybe it was not their topic. That's why, some people dropped. But then again, I do appreciate, passing by and saying hi and also giving a like. It's an awesome thing. And I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, so possibly I'll do a video like I lift this one and I edit it into a video, and then maybe I can post it on my channel. For the TBT, that the TBT does this, so that it can hang on there and people can rewatch it and share their comments there. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.